The Jesse Blake Sports Report with Jesse Blake.
We are halfway through this NHL season, and that means it is time to hand out our half-season Hart Trophy. And if you are not familiar with the Hart Trophy, the NHL has very specific language on how they hand out the Hart Trophy. They write on NHL.com on the Hart Trophy page, the Hart Memorial Trophy is an annual award given to the player adjudged to be the most valuable to his team. That is the criteria you must go into when voting for the Hart Trophy. And what we're going to do here is you get 5 votes on the Hart Trophy. You get 1 through 5. So I'm going to count down my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 votes on my Hart Trophy ballot. Plus, I'm going to give you an honorable mention to start. But before we start with that, if you're watching on the Jesse Blake Sports Report YouTube channel, you will see that I am wearing an absolutely gorgeous Connor Bedard Winter Classic jersey from this past Winter Classic that happened 7 days ago. Thank you to Fanatics for sending this along. The 98 looks absolutely silky smooth on this jersey. It looks gorgeous. I love it. So thank you to Fanatics. Let's get started with the honorable mention. And unfortunately, through no fault of his own, Kirill Kaprizov hasn't been playing hockey as of late. The Minnesota Wild have played 6 games without him. He's been out since December 23rd. And if we were voting on this half-season Hart Trophy award, I would have given it to him on December 23rd. But Kirill Kaprizov has been injured. And in the 5 games before he was injured, the Minnesota Wild lost 4 of them. They were 4-1. He gets injured on the 23rd. And then in the 6 games that they've played without him, the Minnesota Wild have gone 5-1. They've won 5 games, only lost 1. And to me, you need to be on the ice for me to give you this award. All the other guys here have been healthy this entire season. And with Kirill, I'm sorry to do this, but I gotta leave you off the ballot if you are not playing hockey. And your team has proven that they're fine. They're fine right now without you. They can win a whole bunch of games. Minnesota all season long has been at the top of the standings. And without Kirill, the Thrill, they've been able to maintain that position in the standings. So just on that and the fact that this is about you being the most valuable to your team, if they removed you from your team and the team is just as good, that's got to be the final decision maker for me. And Kirill's got to be 6th/ off of my Hart Trophy ballot. So let's get to my top 5. And at number 5, this is probably the name that was tweeted at me the most when I asked you who was your half-season Hart Trophy. I'll read this tweet from Bats in Vince 888. They said, "It's not going to happen because they don't award it this way, but Quinn Hughes is their Hart Trophy winner. Canucks would be comfortably out of the playoffs without him." Now, I don't agree that he should be the Hart Trophy winner, but I believe he should be number 5 because what Quinn Hughes has done this season, controlling the play for the Vancouver Canucks from the back end. Offensively, he's been controlling the play, and defensively, obviously, he's been the star there. He's playing a truly 200-foot game, and what he's doing is Bobby Orr-ish in terms of being the focal point of this team. And like you said, they're Bats in Vince 888. This team is nothing without Quinn Hughes because they've had so many injuries. Their defensive metrics are really poor, having Hronek out, having JT Miller miss time, having Pettersson out for a while. Dakota Joshua has been out. Their starting goaltender's been out. Everybody has been out for this team, and the one stable part has been Quinn Hughes, and I think he deserves recognition for that. And that's why my half-season Norris Trophy for Best Defenseman would go to Quinn Hughes in an absolute walk, and I think he should win the full season Norris Trophy as well. Unbelievable season from Quinn Hughes. He gets 5th place on my Hart Trophy ballot. Now, at number 4, I don't know if a lot of you out there are going to agree with this. A lot of you are going to be mad. A lot of you are going to be just screaming about the Toronto media, but Mitch Marner, I think, definitely deserves to be on my Hart Trophy ballot at number 4. I don't give GIFAF on Twitter tweeted and said Marner for their Hart Trophy vote, and it's not even remotely close. I'm sure Toronto media will say trade him, though. I'm not saying trade him. Plus, I don't think it's remotely close. I think it is very close. I think he's number 4 on the Hart Trophy ballot. But Mitch Marner doesn't get the recognition that he deserves for what he's doing with the Toronto Maple Leafs because they have so many guys we talk about. You know, we talk about Tavares, we talk about Willie, we talk about Matthews, and we talk about Marner, the core four of that team. Plus, like, the Morgan Riley's a guy who's always getting talked about. So, like, there's so many guys that get talked about. There's not as much focus when one guy is a standout performer like Marner, when he's not, like, the big dog and Austin Matthews, the captain. So, Mitch Marner, I think, for what he's done when Willie struggled as of late, I think he's goalless in his last 8. Austin's missed so much time. He's really held this team down by playing every facet of the game for this team. He plays on the penalty kill. He plays on the power play. He plays his star at 5-on-5. Mitch Marner, who's fourth in the league in total points, and on the Toronto Maple Leafs, he's got 58 points, and William Nylander's second in points with 43. He's truly been the guy who's helped this team reach 5th in the standings right now at the halfway point. So Mitch Marner, number 4 on my Hart Trophy ballot. Number 3, we've already had a defenseman. Now let's throw in a guy who also has his own award, Connor Hellebuyck. And Connor Hellebuyck, you get my Vezina trophy. You get my half-season Vezina trophy. Also, like, Mitch Marner Selke, like, can we talk about that? Mitch Marner Selke? But Connor Hellebuyck, you get my Vezina trophy. Before the season, I thought you'd have an awful year. I said you'd never have a .920 save percentage at all. I have a .920 save percentage challenge with Connor Hellebuyck. Me and him personally in my head. He doesn't know it exists, but I didn't think he'd be able to finish with a .920 because it's so hard year after year after year to be consistent goaltender. It doesn't happen. The history of the league, guys don't go 3 consecutive seasons being really good goaltenders. And Connor Hellebuyck has just changed all of that. I got one tweet from Hannah Masek who said, Hellebuyck, that's their Hart Trophy vote, he has only lost 8 games this season. 2 were in OT. He has a .926 save percentage. I know that the Hart normally goes to a skater who scores a lot, but damn, he is the MVP right now. Kyle Connor deserves some respect too for what he's doing from a points perspective and a goal scoring perspective. But Connor Hellebuyck is the one that is the driver of this team truly, and the Winnipeg Jets wouldn't be third in the National Hockey League right now without him. I think he's third on the Hart Trophy ballot that we are forming here right now for the half-season awards. And number 2 on my Hart Trophy ballot, we will move a little west in Canada. We will go from Manitoba to Alberta, and we will give number 2 on the ballot to Leon Draisaitl, who currently sits second in points in the league. He's got 29 goals, 30 assists. And I got this tweet from Pocket Track 7930, who wrote, it's really close between Draisaitl and McKinnon. I agree, it is really close, but I clearly sided in one direction. And they continue, but I'd have to give it to Draisaitl just because of his goal total being 5 more than the next player. If we pull up the Edmonton Oilers stat sheet, we will see that Leon Draisaitl, as I said, got 59 points on the season, 29 goals, 30 assists. Connor McDavid sits second in the team in points, 55 points. That's 16 goals, 39 assists. Beating Connor McDavid out in points is a feat in and of itself, but having Connor McDavid on your team also brings down your Hart Trophy standing. You know, like, you can't be the most valuable to your team when Connor McDavid also exists on your team. You have to do stuff that is so beyond impressive. And that's what Leon Draisaitl is doing this season, just by simply beating out Connor McDavid in points. And I love Leon Draisaitl's game this year because he seems to have committed himself to a more 200-foot game where he's not a complete liability on the defensive end anymore. You can't really say that about Draisaitl. At 29, he seems to have committed himself more to playing defense, and I love that out of him. And the way the Edmonton Oilers started out so poorly, as they did last season, and now they are 6th in league standings, it's largely because of the strong play of Leon Draisaitl. He's the one this season who got them way out of that slump and back to where they should be in the standings. But the guy who is that I've deemed most valuable to his team has done that, but I think on a more impressive level. And that's the guy who currently leads the NHL in points with 66, which is 7 points ahead of Leon Draisaitl, who is number 2 in points on the year. Nathan McKinnon with 14 goals, 52 assists. And the number that is just jumping out to me on the page right now with Nathan MacKinnon is the numbers from his goaltenders. The Colorado Avalanche are such a mess this year in goal, up until very recently when they got Mackenzie Blackwood, but he's only played 9 games for them. The Colorado Avalanche have played 6 goalies so far this season. Blackwood, as I mentioned, Scott Wedgwood, Trent Miner, Alexander Georgiev, Justus Annunen, and Capo Kakinen. They have a save percentage as a team of .893. Trent Miner was an .879 in 1 start. Georgiev was an .874 in 17 starts. Annunen was an .872 in 9 starts. And Kakinen was an .800 in 1 start. Now, Blackwood has been a .938 in 8 starts, and Wedgwood was a .917 in 6 starts. The goaltending has been so bad, but Nathan MacKinnon and Rantanen, like, he's been helping a lot too, and they also have Cale Makar on the back end. But it has been Nathan MacKinnon who has been the star on this team that has been able to just defeat the bad goaltending. He's been able to overcome everything that's happening in his own goal in order to have this team in a position where they're pretty comfy in a playoff spot. They are 11th in league standings based strictly on points. And let me just triple check where they are in the division. Yeah, they're in the first wild card spot with 51 points, clear of Calgary, who was just out of the playoffs at 45 points. I just think from a strictly what you're doing is so unbelievably impressive, because any team that had that level of goaltending should be so far out of the playoffs right now. They are 4th in the league in goals for, and those assist numbers that Nathan MacKinnon has been putting up, the 52 assists he has right now, are the large reason that they are in that position right now. So Nathan MacKinnon, I believe, truly is the player most valuable to his team. Just throw out there, a lot of people have been on even strength points and power play points. Nathan MacKinnon also leads in even strength points, so like that doesn't take away from his argument at all. He's got 20 power play points, but he's got 46 even strength points, which leads the league ahead of Draisaitl, who has 43 even strength points. So he's beating him by 3 there as well, and beating him in the strictly points race. Nathan MacKinnon gets my Hart Trophy vote at the half-season mark of this NHL season. Who gets yours? Let me know in the comments on YouTube or on Twitter or wherever you interact with the show. On our Discord, go to sbn.ca to join us on Discord. And if you have not hit subscribe on the Jesse Blake Sports Report YouTube channel, hit subscribe right now. And while you're there, hit like on this video. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be watching or listening to this video, and I appreciate you for that. I will be back very soon. That's it right now, though. Good night from Toronto.
And that is how it's done.
The Jesse Blake Sports Report with Jesse Blake.
Jesse Blake, the guy that likes to hear his name twice in one sentence. Sure, I know him. No, he doesn't have an ego at all.